He's definitely been struggling in the respawn game modes, but hopping into the ban and protect phase, you expect FaZe to ban out an HC XD quite early in this one.
Oh, yeah, FaZe is starting to get a bit more consistent with their protects and bans. As HCXD is going to be their first pick. Kinetic Armor already got banned out from DT. You think maybe FaZe go after something like the smoke grenade? We know that's something Killa loves to use.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, I think FaZe is more of a team that's going to recognize, hey, we want to ban out those tacticals.
Yeah.
Killa loves playing with a tactical in, whether it's the flashbang or the concussion. He specifically likes the flashbang. I mean, one thing I can tell you about these two teams is you're going to be going into this one and you're going to be looking for the ARs to control middle map, especially on a map like Fringe. I just wonder, can the ARs of DT stack up against FaZe? Because that's going to be a big storyline in this game.
Yeah, that's going to be a very tough question for the DT guys to answer. And something like the smoke grenade, you talk about all the long range sight on Fringe can really help close the gap between them and the SMG players. The Shiva's going to get banned out here from Sender.
For sure. And there goes the flashbang. Now wondering if Killa goes after the concussion.
Concussion, rapid fire, last two.
Rapid fire as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Killa possibly ban rapid, attach, ban out the concussion. But as we head on through, teams taking their time to get that final decision in. As you know, the ban and protect phase can really dictate how a game is played.
A new update to it, too. Now there's the neutral position.
Exactly. If you didn't know, obviously in today's patch, new patch notes went out. There's now a neutral position. So there goes rapid fire from Killa. Attach will ban the concussion. No major surprises there. As we head into the specialist draft, you've got to kind of look at, what will be the surprising specialists, expecting maybe the Tempest to be used here by Clayster.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Purifier either. When you talk about kind of good hard points to use the Purifier on, maybe you look at Grandma's as well. And in fact, Enable, he's going to go ahead and pick up the Purifier. Zuma will pick up the secondary weapon, the Scythe. So what's Clayster going to use here? Maybe he goes after something like, maybe Camo or something? They're going to use 3 weapons here on Hardpoint?
Oh, dude. It's FaZe, man. Clay, I got you, bro. I'm confident you're still bringing out that Tempest for your team. Who knows? I mean, okay, he does go with active camo. Man, a man can dream, Revin. A man can dream.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't put it past, a team like FaZe to use 3 weapons, but it's going to be Sender. He's going to be using the Tempest here, so the dynamic will be the Purifier versus the Tempest. Heatwave picked up by both teams. Killa probably going to pick up active camo, so yeah, that will be the only difference here. And guys, make sure to check out the live event viewer in-game. All you got to do is click square, and you're right there. You're watching our beautiful faces right from your in-game client.
I love technology. Technology is fantastic.
It's there.
Call of Duty is fantastic, and this first match is fantastic as well. We thank you all for joining us here for the beginning of Week 8. Now, Revin, as we begin to load into Fringe, I want to begin to ask a question to the viewers at home. Be sure to use the hashtag CWLPS4 to stay involved with the conversation. The one to kick things off, where do you put FaZe Clan in the North American rankings? We've seen a lot about Optic and Rise. Even Scump said in his video this past week, I believe, on Vision, he said, us and Rise, I think, of the top 2. We think Rise could be the second best or even the best team in the game at times, depending on where they play.
Do you think maybe like a toss-up between Envy and FaZe for that 3rd spot?
Yeah, you think that's kind of where it is?
That's actually a tough question. I mean, look, if we were to go back maybe 3-4 weeks ago, FaZe would be in the discussion for top 2 without a doubt. But as of late, they've kind of been experimenting in their official matches with the kind of roles they want to choose individually, and that kind of let them to slip a little bit down in the standings. So I think it's a very interesting question. I think for sure you kind of have to throw them in the top 5. But what position you put them in, definitely up for debate.
We'll have to see heading into this one. You think that FaZe could potentially be the best CTF team in Black Ops 3? We're talking about that in the rehearsals. What makes them so strong in that game mode, and what could it help them win this series here?
I think they just understand the game mode very well, right? They all work well together. They know the kind of lanes that they need to watch, and they're really good at tracking players. I had a chance to kind of watch some of their individual streams while they were practicing it and screaming against other teams. And it just seems they're all on the same page when it comes to the CTF. And like I said before, they work really well together. So when you combine all those different factors, I think they're definitely one of the best, if not the best, at that specific game mode.
I think it comes down to their confidence in their teamwork as well. Like they trust Attach to be the Lone Ranger on the map, to make the sneaky plays, to somehow catch his opponents off guard, either being in their base or flanking behind them when they go for a push into their opposing team's flag. That's a key difference maker. We've seen Attach drop 30+ as a submachine gun player, especially on Stronghold CTF. But Revin, you made a whoo sound. And no, that's because this beautiful new graphic has me feeling some type of way. The big hard point that I think you and I can both agree to watch out for on this map will be that 3rd hard point in the top Grandma's building. I mean, you have an anchor, lockdown globe, lockdown back silos. Your team can rake in the score. Any other hard points you want to watch out for in this one?
Definitely number 4 over near the rails. And really, between both those hard points, the one kind of thing they have in common is how you're able to manipulate the spawns in your advantage. You could force the other team to spawn so far away that you can guarantee yourself a good 10 to 15 seconds before the other team can set up the break.
Well, off the start of this one, you can see Zuma still rocking that M8. He's got that flak jacket on, and it looks like there was a 2-man push from DT right towards small room. It's something we actually see Miracles and Killa do quite often for their respective teams. This time around, it's Diabolic helping Killa as well as DT are going to go for the flank. They get the pinch down onto the hard point, and they give up the first 15 seconds, but they get the easy break on the hill.
Yeah, if they're able to just get some time and close the gap early on, that'll work out very well. But I do like that initial push from DT for the sole reason that you kind of want the barn spawns for a little bit on the middle hardpoint and also the beginning of the junkyard hardpoint.
Well, you can see Killa tagging up multiple players from that small fence area. He finally does get a kill onto Zuma. Another thing to look for at the start of this one, FaZe electing to use 3 ARs. The solo submachine gun player was attached. You gotta love to see those decisions from teams, right? You know, hey,
I think that's exactly what you want on a map like Fringe.
Couldn't agree more. Even Stronghold as well. I mean, you have your one sub player make some noise in the mansion, and then you have your ARs either play the contest spots or even play from that fire pit or half wall area. But on the rotation, it's FaZe in early control, but they've got a tall order as there's a pinch coming in right now from Dream Team.
Yeah, Clayster has a big job to do. He needs to just kind of commit to one area of the map. He's going to be able to take some cover here near the back alley, and as his teammate Zuma falls behind him, he's going to challenge with RK5 as he falls. Zuma coming off the respawn. So it's going to be FaZe trying to break.
You know, we talked about players to watch out for. Diabolic already 11-2. I believe he's streaked out if we could take a look at him. No, almost 125 off. Should get this kill. Yes, he earns himself the lighting, and he's going to go for more. Another thing to point out, though, look at the DT side. Chino and Killa right now, a combined 3 and 13. That is not a recipe for success as Dream Team find themselves down by about 20 seconds.
No, definitely not. But Sender also has a big job to do right here in this specific position. He needs to stay alive and maintain control of the spawns for his team. He gets shut down, but Chino, he's going to be trying to shut down over near Auto as he picks up the kill on the Clayster. He's going to push road. He's got the L-car in his back pocket, so he can contest with the SMGs that push him inside the hardpoint. Finds one in the staircase here. Easy kill on the Clayster, but he's immediately traded out. And where are the rest of the DT players?
Well, they're spawning across the map, Revin. That's because you mentioned how Sender, he had to hold down that back silo area. Instead, no one stayed stationary. It's so key to just have someone be patient and trust in your teammates to win the engagements in the hill. It didn't happen that
Chino
time.
Can't do anything right now.
As FaZe have doubled the score and Clayster's playing that back position, he will sit here for the rest of this hard point and just be such a nuisance for DT as they try to break. Finally, Chino gets a headshot onto him. He'll begin to flood into the hill. Nice job breaking the hard point as DT are still down by 40 seconds.
Yeah, only 15 seconds remaining. FaZe, they're more than happy to give up these final seconds and just set up for the early rotation over near the tracks. But 3 go down for FaZe. This is going to give DT some early position. They're going to be able to contest for rails early on as we're about to rotate over there. Let's switch back over to Diabolic. He's got the most kills in the game right now.
I actually love that there's still a FaZe player inside tin. He's going to catch that person off guard who should be dropping down. But as I say that, Clayster does get the kill on the Chino. 3 fall for DT, make it 4. Beautiful pinch by Clayster. I saw him on the minimap.
Look at the spawns, man.
And now he's playing middle, and he's going to be able to call out whoever's crossing. There's one, gets the kill on the Killa. He's got that great map awareness to feel like, hey, maybe there's people flanking me. Tin spots one, can call out the second. Clayster, while he only got 2 kills there, the information he got for his team was absolutely priceless.
Oh, yeah, and the reason why he decided to kind of lurk through Auto, kind of before the rotation, was because they knew Chino had some sort of progression towards streaks. So he catches Chino off guard, stops him from potentially earning any streaks, and then he picks up kills in rotation, finds DT members off spawn. As FaZe, they get a perfect break, and now they're starting to really build themselves a lead.
The AR presence of FaZe right now is just absolutely dominant. Look at the amount of engagements Attach has right now. Only 17, but he's got 1 minute and 10 seconds in the hard point. That is because FaZe are slaying their opponents so far out that look where their ARs are positioned. They're positioned all over the map. They're forcing players to have to get through 1, 2, 3 lines of defense before they can even begin to shoot at Attach. It's a big reason why they have double the score of DT after the first rotation.
For sure. You see this time and time again from FaZe, mainly on the map like Breach, where they just do such an amazing job at slaying on the outsides of the hard point that somebody like Attach is like, come on, guys, I want some kills as well.
Yeah.
But that's why you don't see him with many interactions and with a minute 14 already inside the hard point.
He's got almost 10 less interactions than anybody else on his team, and he's the one with the most time in the hill. He's actually got more time than the rest of his team combined. If you look at the other side of things, though, it's Diabolic, the one-man slaying show at the moment. You've got an almost triple negative Killa, and this is something that's plagued him so often in hardpoints, Revin. What's going wrong for Killa in this game mode on this new team?
Well, right now, if you look at where Killa is compared to the rest of his teammates, he's kind of playing kind of on his own. You know, he doesn't have really any teammates to fall back on or to help train out. He's going to find some crucial kills there to kind of help his team stabilize inside the next hardpoint. But also, like, when we were talking when DT first picked up Killa, I felt like he kind of plays at a different pace than the rest of these players. Right?
Yeah.
He's such an aggressive player. He has nobody really to complement him on this team.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you look at the other submachine guns on this squad, the other people who kind of are playing similar roles to him, and he's got just as many engagements, but so many more deaths. Diabolic is doing a better job with positioning at the moment, winning his close-range gunfights. But as I say that, it's FaZe who retake control due to a four-man push right on through Tin. There was a team kill by a Semtex. This does look like a great opportunity for DT to try to get some time on this scrap hardpoint.
Really, just because Diabolic was able to stay alive for so long, but as Diabolic falls, now it's left all up to Killa. And, you know, FaZe, they push together, they work together, they're looking over each other. As you were saying, they have trust in each other to pick up the kills, and now they have control of the rest of the time in the junkyard hardpoint. They're going to win this rotation over towards Grandma's. You got Enable now contesting for the anchor spot. He's got Purifier to use. He might decide to back up after he finds these kills and just try to take cover inside Grandma's.
Right now, this is everyday business.
He keeps it, though.
Everyday business for FaZe. They're positive 20 in the slaying department. They're rotating when they need to. They're anchoring the spawns. They're up by 100 seconds. A clean hardpoint game so far for FaZe, and when Enable's picking up two pieces like that, you know they're going to have a good chance at winning the game. He'll pre-fire all the different entrances, and there is no shot that DT can get to break this hardpoint. Look at this, as it is just a slaughter at the moment. 4 dead again for DT. They're all spawning out. FaZe primed to take game number 1 in this best of 5.
Yeah, and those smoke grenades, they're going to help out a lot on this specific hardpoint because you can kind of zone out Zuma here near the back silos, and that'll enable you to kind of, you know, be able to leave.
Wow, Zuma.
Auto. As Zuma picks up 2 kills right there, Enable's still staying alive near the hardpoint as I say that he drops, but, you know, that's something that did help DT a little bit, but they're just down by so much that, you know, it's starting to get out of hand here.
4 dead again. The rotation already in play for FaZe. They could win off this next hardpoint. It won't be easy, but with how they're slaying right now, it's definitely a possibility. 3 players positive. The only one negative is Attached, but he's got 2 minutes in the hard point, and he's just sitting at -2. Beautiful job with their engagements. Even up close, Clayster is making it happen. The Hellstorm drops. That doesn't hit anybody, but Clay is there to clean up the kill. 140-second lead for FaZe. This one is done, Revin.
Yeah, for sure. The story of this game has been the slaying from FaZe. DT had absolutely no answer. Sure, early on, Diabolic, he was the lead slayer in the entire game, but with nobody to help him out, there's nothing that DT could really do. You know, FaZe, they're hitting their shots. Clayster pops his camel right here. He finds 1, make it 2, turn around for the 3rd. Can't finish it up, but guess what? He's got a teammate here to rely on. It's going to be Enable here to trade that kill out. Attached now inside the hard point. He's finding some kills as he has over 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Yeah, this game is long over.
They'll win on the hard point. There's a Cerberus on the map. That one got out of hand quickly. FaZe, well, they tell DT, welcome to the 100-point club. 3 players drop 30, while on the other side of things, 3 players from DT barely even reached the teens in the kills.
Nobody positive for DT.
Woof. Rough game 1 there for Dream Team. They've definitely got to put that one behind them as they head later on in the series.
Yeah, they got to find a way to put it behind them. That was not a pretty game from the guys over on Dream Team, but now we're going to be moving into Search and Destroy on evac. Will be map number 2 here. So maybe a map where they could try to find a way or maybe find a win in the series.
Yeah, I casted FaZe versus DT this past weekend in the 25K, and these two teams, they've actually already gotten a lot of experience playing against each other as the DT is still a relatively new lineup.
Yeah.
One thing I'm wondering in Search and Destroy, you know, how much of a focus is there on the sniper rifles of FaZe to kind of limit them out on a map like evac, especially where sniping is not nearly as
I remember Attach finds a way to just make it work.
He always will, but it's a little bit more forced, if we're being quite honest, compared to some of the other S&Ds. Also, you know, hey, do the tacticals make it in? How does that affect the game? Tacticals, very useful on evac, Search and Destroy. Let's take a look at the after-action report to really see who the standout players were, and look at that. 30 and 18, 32 and 19, 30 and 20. And then you got Attach with, hey guys, you know what? You guys get all the kills. I'll just make sure we win
I'll
the
get all the
darn
time.
map. Only 34 engagements from Attach, while Clayster had 50, 48, even 51 from Zuma. Pretty crazy stuff to show, hey, FaZe know their roles. They stick in them to help them win the game. And from start to finish, FaZe took the lead, and they didn't look back.
I mean, Diabolic, he starts this game out, what was it, like 12-2? Something crazy like that. He was unable to earn, you know, all of his score streaks, didn't get streaked out. I think he only got a lightning strike from the series there. But, you know, once he slowed down, DT just kind of fell further and further out of the game here. Zuma going big on the anchor, just holding down that backside position. Really good stuff coming out of FaZe. You know, when you talk about their ability to just slay on the outsides of the hardpoint, it was just unanswered from the guys over on Dream Team.
Yeah, from start to finish, FaZe, they ran away with that one. And honestly, I don't know about you, but I kind of expected that.
Oh, yeah.
I know FaZe haven't looked as strong in the hardpoints as of late, but DT with Killa as their new fourth man, I mean, they're just missing something right now, especially in that game mode. It seems like it's four very individual players instead of kind of a coordinated team.
We kind of look at, like, the kind of pace every player plays at.
Yep.
You have Chino and Sunder, they're pretty slow assault rifle players. You have Killa, he's one of the most aggressive SMGs in all of Call of Duty. You have Diabolic, sure, he could get kind of aggressive, but for the most part, you know, when you think of like aggressive SMG guys that are in your face constantly, Diabolic not really a face that you kind of see in that type of role. So yeah, like you were saying, everybody just kind of playing pretty individualized. That's definitely something they need to change up if they want to hang in the hard points. And unfortunately for them, time's starting to wind down if they want to get out of that relegation zone.
They are in a tough spot now. For me, it is a must-win these next two games.
Yeah, you can't.
I look for FaZe to be very strong in CTF. If DT want to win this series, they need to do kind of what everyone expects of DT already, is you need to win both SNDs, and you need to seek a respawn. I think their best chance of seeing a respawn is going to be Game 3, which will be Breach Uplink.
The crazy thing is, you know, if DT win, you know, like half of the Game 5s that we've seen them in,
they're in a pretty good spot.
They're not in relegation anymore.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Cole. I mean,
Yeah.
Cole are, yes, they're turning things around. You know, they had a slow start, but they're like 6-2 or something like that in Game 5s.
If Complexity lose all their Game 5s, they're near the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, they are like dead last. It's those storylines that are always quite interesting between the teams. As we mentioned, be sure to stay involved on Twitter. Send us your predictions for this series at CourageJD, at RevanJB. Be sure to share some of your thoughts here.
I want to see some pictures of you guys using the in-game viewer.
Yeah, that's actually awesome. I had a main menu for a second. I look in the top right. I see CWL
You're about
Live.
to pull it up and
I
watch
was about
us?
to watch myself, critique myself. You know, give me some constructive criticism for my casting from that first match.
So we could actually stream the stream that's inside the game.
I'm down. Cast
do
the
that.
stream through the stream.
Yeah. Streamception.
Ooh, that's a good word, Revan. I'll give you that one. Nice job. Nice job. That was definitely pretty crafty. We do have the players in the lobby.
Yeah.
We'll be hopping in quite quickly. If you're new to competitive Call of Duty, we do a best-of-5 series.
Yeah.
Hardpoint kick things off, which we just saw. Then Search and Destroy. Then Uplink, followed by CTF. And then, if it goes to that Game 5, the most intense game mode, yet again, S&D. We do play first to 6 round wins. We'll take home that game, and in a Game 5, take home the series. We hope you're all enjoying the Week 8 coverage. Once again, only 3 matches tonight on the primary stream, so it's even more important than ever to make sure you have that secondary stream ready to go on another window on your monitor. Evac, S&D, Revan. Now, between these two teams, what are you looking for? What do DT try to do to try to catch FaZe off guard?
I really feel like this map is all about playing as a team and playing for those trades. On the defensive end, both bomb sites are really on opposite sides of the map of each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get an even spread, whereas on a map like Stronghold, where everything's kind of pretty close quartered, the defensive players can kind of play, you know, very close together and work those trades very easily. So for that reason, I expect there to be some holes in the defensive setup, but I want to see the defensive side kind of playing together and kind of, when it comes to like the man advantage, fighting on an even front against the offensive push.
Oh, for sure. I think that one big thing to watch out for is your ARs need to be very precise on this map. There is many power positions on the defensive side where, you know, only their head is shown because they're standing behind cover.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that your AR hits those crispy shots to get the first blood for your team. We see it all the time with that bottom kitchen bar. Also, on the other side of things, near glass, near top glass by that A-bomb site, also sitting behind the trees in that area are just so lethal, especially with a solid AR player. And then middle map presence. Walk me through that a little bit because we see how key it is. We see how key it is in the respawns, but in S&D, a lot of times teams don't favor making a play for mid.
I mean,
the thing with pushing in for mid is I do like pushing in for early mid control because you could easily rotate to either 2 bomb sites.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of defending mid, there's so many different things you need to look out for. And going back to your point about the assault rifle players, how they need to be precise with their shots, they also need to be very aware.
Yeah.
So many times we've seen players kind of utilize the wall running, especially on this map, to kind of get behind enemy lines. And as we move into the ban and protects here, expect to maybe see blast suppressor or afterburner targeted here.
Wouldn't be too surprised. Killa again in charge of banning out that rapid fire. Clayster wondering where he will go. Heatwave off the board now from FaZe.
So maybe targeting Diabolic there, but we've seen Heatwave come up clutch time and time again and search and destroy, especially when you get down to that kind of 1v1 situation. Heatwave definitely one of the better specialists you could have in that specific scenario. Overclock will get targeted here by Chino. Now it's going to be Zuma's turn. Maybe we start to see them target the tacticals as we move on in ban and protects.
Wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, definitely a very popular pick. Waiting for Zuma to go with his draft, and it's going to be the smoke ban, which is something you mentioned, especially in the hardpoint. In S&D, can be used very well near bottom kitchen. You throw it in that hallway. It completely blocks any push from the opposing team. Can also let you get kind of a sneak plant down, as it gives you just enough duration to plant that bomb. In competitive Call of Duty, 5-second plant time, 7.5-second defuse time. Attach and Sender now up for their respective teams. Teams taking their sweet time in this ban and protect phase.
So flashbangs will get banned out. High caliber still in play. Concussions will get protected. So that's something that's going to change up the pace in the game. Now, when we talk about what third perks you're going to use, where do we go from here? Do you try to do maybe like blast suppressor tac mask, dead silence tac mask? Do you just say, screw it, I'm going to call your bluff. I'm not worried if I get stunned out here. I'm just going to be running dead silence blast suppressor.
If I'm making an executed push, let's say towards top glass, I'm going with no dead silence. I'm just going tac mask and I'm forcing. It's kind of like a B Street push on Infection S&D. But, hey, if I want to make a play for middle map, I want to try to catch my opponents off guard, then I kind of like dead silence a little bit more. You wait out some of the tacticals to be used, then you make a play in ban and protect phase. Nothing too crazy. Really, the most standout one was that protect on the concussion.
I kind of feel like if you're on the defensive end of things, you kind of need dead silence and blast suppressor, because if you're trying to fight for a retake of a bomb site, you can't give up any information on just based on sound. Whereas if you're on the offensive side of things, you can kind of do something like an all-in push where you won't maybe need blast suppressor or dead silence, but kinetic armor makes it through here. It's going to be attach and sender, both picking it up. Nice to see DT starting to use kinetic armor a bit more.
Yeah, they definitely kind of realized, hey, this is a pretty darn good specialist. Let's make sure we have that in our arsenal. Glitch from Diabolic and Enable. We've seen Glitch more and more as of late. FaZe, we saw the big play Clayster made last week against Envy.
Dude, how come every week I see you making another big play with Glitch?
It's such a flashy specialist, right? And I have honestly, now I've used it so often that maybe 1 out of every 10 times I use it, I'm surprised at where I am. Like, I go to Glitch and I'm like, oh, I'm going to land right here, and then I'm 20 feet behind that, and I go, okay, I'm not even remotely close to hitting the guy. But for the most part now, and you've seen this more and more from pro players, even Clayster when facing Aches, he glitches, he knows kind of where he'll be, and immediately recognizes the situation, gets the kill he needs to. Glitch can be fantastic, especially in those one-on-one, one-on-two scenarios. We saw what Goonjar can do with it. You plant the bomb, right as you're done planting, they spot you, they go to kill you, you glitch out. It's like a cat with 9 lives. You just somehow stay alive.
There's so many different ways you could use that specialist. You could be kind of live bait with it.
Yep.
You kind of push forward, soak up some bullets, glitch back, allow your teammate to trade the kill. You could use it in a clutch situation, planting the bomb. We see it used on Breach a lot, especially over near that A bomb site. That's so exposed. You hit that bomb down, you're like, I don't feel safe anymore. I'm just going to glitch back. Tell me about, how are you able to predict kind of like your past where you're going to glitch back to?
It's just, you kind of get a feel for it. It's one of those where it's still got that random element. So you just kind of know, all right, from using it so often, if I move from this point to this, I should be where I want. We saw actually a clip from, I believe it was Karma's stream this past week. Karma and Formal were testing it out in Uplink.
Oh, I saw that.
Where basically they had Formal, let's say you have full control of your opponent's base, right? And the guy is still running up with the drone. It's going to take him a little while. Well, you have your glitch player double jump through their portal, move away from it, then you pass the drone to the guy, he glitches back into the portal, you get the easy dunk in. It's small things like that I think players will begin to experiment with more and more, especially when overclock is available. Now, I wanted to bring this up with you, Revin, because overclock not available in this S&D. Afterburner is still up.
Yeah.
Nades are still available too. I feel like on defense right now, you need to be rocking double nades, where on offense, you got to make the decision to either go with Flak Jacket or Afterburner to try to use some of those crazy wall runs to get an advantageous position.
That's very true, and just like we were having that discussion about the third perk, the first perk is very interesting as well, and that's why I think kind of when we move into Stage 1 playoffs, I think players are kind of saving those perk 1 greed bands, perk 3 greed bands for the LAN qualifier. They might be practicing kind of in their unofficial matches with those not being allowed in the game.
Yeah, I think the big site to watch out for in this one gonna be that B-bomb site inside bottom kitchen. It's one that is so heavily contested. The outer wall run can be so lethal if you catch your opponents off guard. We have loaded into it, though. Game number 2, FaZe up 1-0 in the best of 5. We'll have to see if DT can bounce back.
All right, so Killa decided to use just one first perk and just one third perk. Let's take a look at the rest of his team. Okay. As, well, 2 of his teammates are already dead. Definitely not the start you wanted for DT. No. Killa will be able to trade 1 kill out, but
Chino's going to die here, too. This is a really awkward position for Chino. 2 players from FaZe should begin to challenge. They've got Zuma, who gets the kill in middle map, and just like that, it's Chino left to the 1-on-3. There he goes. FaZe, solid round win. 2 kills from Zuma, and I mentioned, middle map control. How do you wind up wanting to play around it? Well, FaZe send 3 players right on through. They get the kills they need, and then they just track back to their base to kill the overextending Chino. Solid round 1 from FaZe Clan.
Right, you kind of have, a good 15-20 seconds to play around your middle map before you have to worry about the offense pushing far enough forward that they're going to be contending for position near your base. So FaZe kind of recognizing that timing, they're able to exploit it. They find 2 early kills, and then from there, they just work the man advantage. But it looks like it's going to be an A-bomb site hit here from FaZe. It's attached with the sniper rifle. There's a player over near top glass. It looks like he might have spotted his toes as that player is forced to retreat.
Just quickly check Twitter. So many people sending us pictures of them watching from the live event viewer. That is absolutely great to see, guys. Hope you're all enjoying that one. Call of Duty Esports always continually improving. Gotta love the support we've seen from the developers. But it's Attach who's just trying to stay alive, and you can see Clayster played all the way in the back of the base, waited for Diabolic to move on through. Great bait and switch from FaZe there.
If you're in Clayster's position right there, you got to be so paranoid, man. You don't know if they're going to be wall running all the way around. You don't know exactly where they're going to be coming from. So being able to spot that player flanking early on and taking him out,
oh my God,
going to be so comfortable. Attach could have died like 5 different times in this round, but somehow he's been able to stay alive.
It's the trust he has in his teammates. He doesn't even try to shoot him. He just immediately backs up, gets away. Now he'll spot someone bottom Hardpoint. There's the kill, and just like that, again, it's Sender's a 1v3. Dead. This time it's Sender in that awkward position.
Yeah, Zuma was coming around the flank, and anytime you're playing against Zuma, it's almost kind of worth just kind of playing backwards when you're fighting against Zuma, because you know he's going to be coming around that flank sooner or later, so you might as well just kind of be prepared for it.
Just walk backwards?
Yeah, because you know he's going to be coming behind you, so if you're like, you already turn around kind of expecting it, maybe then he doesn't flank.
Hey, there you go. Revan dropping the strategy on stream. Just have your character walk backwards at all times when you expect yourself to have to push an area. Already it's FaZe up 2-0 DT. They got slapped around in the hard point right now in the S&D. It's FaZe just out-trading them and out-positioning themselves. There's a 2-man split on either bomb site for FaZe. This is the best opportunity DT have had so far in a round.
Sender just got spotted. First blood coming in from Enable as Diabolic falls very early on in the round. And DT, when it comes to getting first bloods, man, they're having some trouble here. Killa, he's got a stun grenade to use, but he's going to be able to outgun Enable. So the trade does come in a little bit later in the round, but coming around the flank, man, guess who it is?
Tommy Papa. He's coming around the flank. It's going to take him a little while. You can see Clayster gets 2. Now it's Zuma spots a 3rd player and another 1v3. This time Chino picks up 1 kill. He's going to continue to push into the FaZe base, but as I say that, oh God, he turns and burns.
The
onto Zuma. It's a 1v1. Not going to happen though. Okay, whoa. Let's talk for a second. Let's talk, because that was not a yup deezy.
How is that not a yup deezy?
Do not use that incorrectly, Revan.
How is that not a... He went up, he turned around, and he DZ'd on him.
No. He was already facing in his general direction, and DZ'd on is not a word. You're offending me right now, as well as the rest of the courageous out there in the world who know how to use that word. Yup, DZ is when you put shots in the guy, he turns and doesn't miss a single bullet and shoots you and gets the kill. All right, I'm going to teach you. I'm having to teach Maven. You're both
we need a Yup DZ seminar.
We really do. I can make a video and post it if people really want to know what it is. We're watching Clayster sit in the back of the map. There's no one remotely near him. As who's this hitting the bottom in a wall run? Attach get up the best position. Look, he tries to scope with a random snipe shot. Beautiful 2-piece from Attach. Somehow stays.
Oh, do it.
Okay, thank God the player ran away. I thought I was going to have a heart attack on stream. And guess what? It's round 4. It's the 4th 1v3. It's Chino for the 3rd time this game where he's got to make a miraculous play happen.
You know, like I was saying, when playing for those trades, man, DT, they've not been doing a great job at it. You know, every single round so far, FaZe have been able to get first blood. No trade has come in. They've been able to get the second kill. No trade has come in. And, you know, then you're just too far behind in the man count that it's so tough to win a round. And as you're saying, this is like the 3rd 1v3 scenario we've seen from DT.
I'm telling you, man, it's everyday business for FaZe right now. They play the hardpoint exactly how they want to. They're playing this S&D exactly how they want to. They're letting attach, overkill, snipe. All the weapons they want are still available. The tacticals haven't really made an impact.
All right, Chino, you got to do
something.
something.
Chino hasn't spotted a single player. Expect to see him maybe just jump off the map in the next few seconds. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
Attach cleans him up 4-0 for FaZe. This is just a stomp at the moment as DT continued to just get run over by the Red Militia.
And Attach, because he's using overkill here, he doesn't have room on his class for a first perk as he cleans up the final kill there onto Chino. Chino got spotted. He was getting cornered in by all of the FaZe players.
Yeah.
And DT, they need to do something different.
If I'm Attach, I'm fine with not having a first perk, though, because obviously if he's overkill sniping, he's not going to be doing crazy wall runs, you know?
Yeah.
He's already got himself an HC. He's 3/4 of the way, or a little bit over, to his kinetic. He's going to push that HC car out towards top AC.
Oh.
Hasn't spotted a player as of yet. Now sees one bottom middle, but he will get cleaned up from that top vent area.
There we go. They got
Chino
first
for first blood. Oh, Attach almost connects with the headshot. He'll get traded out.
And Clay falls off the map.
Clay has fallen off the map. I have yet to catch a game in the World League where it's
Clay
possible to
hasn't
fall
fallen
off,
off
where
the
Clay
map.
hasn't fallen. I played wagers with him on Sunday on Breach. He fell off Breach S&D 4 times. 4 times. He's just very good at falling off maps.
That's not something you want to be good at.
Well, guess what? Clay's a reigning champion every single day.
And what? And falling?
Yes.
You host championships, tournaments? Who could fall off the map the most?
It would be Clayster by a landslide. I caught stats. Keep track. Oh, look, he's just... yeah, you thought I was... Clay! What are you doing? Are you serious? Oh, my God! Are you serious? What the hell did I just see?
It's like he heard us casting.
You've got it, Clay. You've got to be kidding me right there.
He's got to be trolling us.
You've got to be kidding me right there. We were just talking about it, and he finds a new way. Kids, you ever thought you could find... FaZe is fully on tilt. DT are winning the series. That was the funniest moment of the World League, hands down. Attach is going to get cleaned up. Okay, Clayster. We got the joke now. You can stop.
Yeah, stay on the map for this next round, but...
It was like, he was like, I can't play this round, guys. I physically can't play this round. My soup is ready. Let me go get it. I'm just going to jump off. Why did he do that?
I don't know. I have no answer.
Oh, my God. That is going to be a fantastic clip. As we're talking about it, and
top
then it
5
happens
fails,
instantly.
yeah.
Top 5 fails, 100%. DT, they get 2 free rounds really handed to him. Azuma's going to begin to push right up through middle map. He could hit a great timing. As he gets
to hit a fantastic
middle
time.
zig, he's got a player just directly to his left. There's Kilo.
Hello.
First blood for FaZe. He's already cleared out this whole A side. FaZe should have full peace of mind knowing, hey, the bomb should be going down at B. That objective is being planted right now by Sender, as FaZe are going to have to go for the 4v3 retake.
So it's going to be Chino kind of watching the flank. He's pretty far away from his teammates, so as FaZe try to push in and retake the bomb site, it's essentially going to be a 3-on-2 fight here. Let's see if they're able to make it work. It's going to be kind of Zuma leading the charge. Does find one. Attached with the second. If FaZe just go right on the defuse here, they're going to get it. Especially now they know exactly where Chino is. Chino drops by the hands of Enable.
Is Clayster on the map? Let's just make sure he doesn't decide to just jump off.
All right, there's the bomb, guys. Go ahead and defuse it.
Okay, he's like, that needs to be defused. Clay, hey, hold on! You're scaring me. Oh, Clayster! Okay, I think he's going to live through this round. Whew, okay, 5-2. FaZe 1 round away from going up 2-0 in this best of 5.
It seems like if Clayster just stays on the map, FaZe have a pretty good shot at winning the round.
It's like key things to look out for on your teams. You know, you need to have Diabolic go off for DT, and you need to have FaZe just live. You need to have Clayster just stay on the map.
Pretty much.
Take away his slide and jump feature.
Remove that paddle off of his controller.
I mean, you got multiple specialists ready to go for FaZe. Overdrive now being popped by Zuma. Let's see, is he going to go for the outer wall run? He has been spotted, so they know he's here, and he recognizes that. He recognizes that. Someone is hitting the wall run, though, back. It's going to be Diabolic getting first blood, and he'll get... No! Enable 1 bursts him back down.
I really like the decision for DT just to kind of EMP check it, because if there's any overdrive left, it would have all been gone.
Should see the shadow here momentarily of the player above him. Kill will just challenge. Clayster does die. 3v2 for DT as they try to hang on in this game 2.
FaZe, they kind of need to group up here. It's Enable, he's going to spot one out. He does have Glitch available, as it looks like he might decide to maybe hit the wall run, but his other teammate attaches quite far away from him. Kill's just going to decide to rotate back.
He doesn't have Dead Silence or Blast Suppressor, so if he does this, they're going to know immediately. And now
that
someone's hitting
why.
the wall run again. Someone's going to be coming just low to his right. He doesn't see him. Enable
That's
still
tough to
doesn't see
spot.
the player. Oh my god, Enable's going to get shot in the back. Yep, there he goes. 1v3 for Attach.
Attach can do it. He's got Kinetic.
Oh, Attach! 1v1, 25 seconds. He's got Kinetic
1v1
armor
with
as well.
Kinetic.
Killa already uses Overdrive. No specials ready to go. He's right around the corner. Killa should check this bomb momentarily. Attach might just get shot right
He's
away.
gonna check as soon as it's
armor.
planted.
Attach going to win this round. Attach going to win this round.
Depends if he pops it in time. He's going to pick up. He's going to spot Kill. Kinetic armor gets popped.
Attach
He
with the
wins it.
1v3. Beautiful round from him. As FaZe will take the game 6-2. What a wacky search and destroy. What was that game, man?
The only 2 rounds FaZe loses is when Clayster jumps off the map.
It's a science, right? We've gotten it down. The math, it's been solved. FaZe lose S&D rounds 100% of the times where Clayster falls off the map, which is almost 50% of the time. So 50% of the time, it works every time.
You did the math on that.
I did. Shout out to Anchorman for that quote. FaZe, they win it 2-0, even with Clayster having one of the most failed moments I've seen in the history of Call of Duty. As we were just talking about him falling off the map, he decides, you know what, let me take it a step further, literally.
It's almost like he tried to fall off the map.
It was so perfect. It was literally something scripted, right? It was something scripted where you're like, oh, I bet you Clayster falls off the map right here. And then guess what he does? Whoop, whoop, falls off the map.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
I don't know if I said anything right there. I was just making sounds. We will look at your after-action report, and then we'll head into Uplink, which I think now, DT, obviously it's a must-win, but
Yeah.
now they're in an awkward spot. I mean, you've got to not only win an Uplink, but then win a CTF, which you think FaZe is the best team in the World League at. Here's your after-action report. What a performance from Attach, the 1v3 special at the end with the side of fries as he goes 11-3.
Does Attach ever not have a big game in Search and Destroy?
Does Attach ever not have a big game at all?
This is true. I think he's definitely been performing very well from this FaZe team. I mean, we've seen big games from everybody on this FaZe team, and that's what makes them so dangerous. I mean, I really can't wait to see them at the Stage 1 playoffs coming soon. But now we are moving into Uplink. It's going to be on Breach as we take a look at some of the highlights here from Game 1, or Game 2.
Zuma got that first blood for FaZe. This was another big round from Attach. Attach had so many round-winning plays, right, where he just stayed alive. There, gets the 2-piece down on the Diabolic and Sender, stays on the map, which is something Clayster fails to do many times. You're kidding me.
What is this?
What was that? What? Seriously. I know he was trying to call on his HC, but come on, man. Come on, as we go to load in to our next game. There's the 2-piece from Attach. That was just saucy. And then he used that kinetic armor to take down Killa. Banner Protect phase has already started for Breach Uplink. These guys are wasting no time. We'll see if the tacticals make it through again.
Okay.
Right off the bat, it's Overdrive and Kinetic Armor. 2 specialist abilities gone right away.
Deter, like, we just lost the final round to Kinetic Armor. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. So maybe we see Camo banned as well. Potentially 3 specialist abilities could get banned out here for Breach Uplink. High Caliber will get taken out by Clayster. There's Overclock from Killa. Now we're down to the final 4 bans.
High Caliber, Overclock, Tactical's probably going to be banned. I don't really know.
I mean, those would be the last 2 bans from FaZe if they go after the Tacticals.
I mean, I think they're fine.
Rapid Fire still
I think they're fine with getting rid of the Tactical. Okay, Perk 1 Greed ban.
That's not really a big deal because Overclock's gone.
Yeah, and now what do they have to choose from? Flak Jacket and Afterburner, which 90% of the time they're already choosing Afterburner on Uplink. That's surprising.
Yeah, I think Perk 1 Greed for something like Search and Destroy, great. When Overclock is in, great, because then you have to make the decision, do I want Afterburner or do I want Overclock? The Shiva's going to go. I imagine they're going to go after something maybe like the Concussion or the Flashbang here. Camo's still in play as well.
Yep. Finish things out. It's going to be Attach, and he will get rid of maybe Smokes.
HCs.
Okay, so FaZe, yet again, they always love getting rid of that HCXD. You love it. What's the big reason behind getting rid of it?
You know, the HC, it doesn't take too much score to earn,
And it's just so darn useful, man. You get that big red box whenever you spot somebody on the map, so you can gain a wealth of information. You can use the third-person ability, and it's just a great distraction for the other team. I mean, I know whenever we're playing, we're like, okay, they have an HC on the map. The first kind of thing you do is you try to take it off the map.
Yep.
So immediately you just kind of focus in on that one HC on the map, and you might kind of forget about what else is going around elsewhere.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things to watch out for in this Game 3 is Breach has a lot of areas where your character can fall to his death, and we've seen how much that can affect Clayster.
This is true.
And he's got Heat Wave. So now, you know what? Clay's going to pick Heat Wave. He's going to go, I'm going to Heat Wave people as they try to go over those ledges so they fall off the map and make them look dumb.
Yeah.
That's his logic here. He's not thinking, oh, Heat Wave is good to run with the drone or it's good to lock down position of a small room. No, it's strictly to make his opponents fall off the map more than him.
So what do you think of DT's kind of team composition here? 2 weapons, maybe attached. Well, it's going to be 3 abilities for FaZe, 2 abilities for the guys over on DT. What do you think of kind of the team compositions for both teams?
I actually am not too kind of against their setup. I wouldn't mind having a second ability like lethal, especially when they need more help.
Especially because so many abilities were banned out.
Yeah, like you're seeing Attach pick Psychosis. You know,
Yeah.
Killa could have probably picked Psychosis, but he has an Annihilator. Killa, one of those players that still hasn't adapted more towards that Tempest use. We've seen Sender use it for Dream Team before, FaZe, Clayster as well. But coming into it, you got to kind of begin to wonder, you know, is those 2 lethal specialists, well, are they going to be enough? And 2, how well are they going to be used, right? Are they going to be used right at the start of the second half? Will they kind of get popped? And then the second, you know, Kill's about to turn a corner with the Annihilator, he gets shot in the back. Those things, it's the worst feeling in Black Ops 3 when you saved up all this time. You know, there's no overclock available. You finally get a scythe. You bring it out, and then you die instantly.
That's the worst, especially kind of like at the start of the second half. That's usually when we see players start to take it out, because in a game mode like Uplink, like CTF, you'll maybe earn it twice.
Yep.
So you really got to make sure you get good use out of something like your Scythe, like your Annihilator, or your Tempest. Any specialist weapon you're going to use in those specific game modes, got to make sure you put them to good use. And that raises the question, when is the best time to kind of take them out?
Absolutely. Well, we've seen FaZe begin to dominate so far in this series. You know, we asked your predictions, you know, where do you see FaZe right now in the league? Vanity JC, he said in his response, he said, FaZe, they are number 2 in the league. They're 2-0 against Envy and Rise. You got to love his kind of thought process behind that one. As you mentioned, you know, Envy and Rise, it's 2 of the other top teams. Well, guess what? FaZe made easy work of them so far in the league.
But then you're just comparing them against, you know, 2 specific teams.
Yeah.
When you compare them to all the other teams in the league, they don't stack up as well as, you know, teams like Rise, like Envy, who have better records.
Oh, for sure. The map is beginning to load up. Breach Uplink for DT's last chance in this best of 5. There's a look at the main areas to watch out for on the map. That drone that spawns in the middle hut. The 4 AC areas right around it are just such power positions at times. You can use them for great cover to catch your opponents off guard. The big thing to watch out for, that construction side of the map, you know, from top green to construction to that cages hardpoint. That second hardpoint is going to be one of the key lanes to lock down. You hear it all the time. You get the drone, you push it that way, or vice versa. Your team, you force them to spawn over there and you push it towards the other side. We're going to watch DT off the start as they are down 2-0 in this best of 5 at Sender with that AR kill up with flashbang and grenade as his 2 grenades.
Yeah, probably just going to toss a flashbang as well as a grenade over this middle hut. Nade going out early. There's the flashbang. Chino with first blood has killed. Now fighting for that neutral drone. Early kills going in favor of DT as that's going to be 3 down for FaZe. Let's see if DT can make anything happen out of this as Chino will pick up the drone. You have Diabolic already pushing out the lane, but as he falls, Chino's forced to back up.
This is quite the interesting play decision. They're going to just rotate this one.
You can't score on your own goal.
Yeah, I think DT have just realized that now, and they're going to begin to rotate this one towards bottom palace. Let's see what perks Chino has on right now, if possible. So he does have Afterburner, so this outer wall run is definitely possible, and this is something we talked about earlier. With Overclock being banned, we saw Diabolic ban out perk 1 Greed. It was like, okay. I mean, most players will elect to use Afterburner, especially in a game mode like Uplink. FaZe, they got handed the drone and Palace. They've got 2 lead blockers. This looks like a guaranteed score for FaZe Clan as they're going to strike first. Tatch will get it in right away. FaZe just continuing to just roll on through. The train is coming to the station, and there's no stops in sight.
Yeah, that was just an awkward kind of series of plays for the guys over on Dream Team.
You know, they had that forward position to work with.
Oh,
They did wind up
Attach.
losing it. Solid shots from Attach as they get yet another dunk.
Look at the streaks. Zuma was just on a 5 streak. It was a combined 10 streak for FaZe momentarily, and we're a minute and a half into this game. Clayster in the power position in his opponent's
He's using
base.
a power core.
Yeah, power core on as well. I mean, right now, DT, where do you even begin to kind of turn things around, right? You've got Clayster, who's almost earned himself a lightning. He's got the heat wave already. He's just going to continue to stay alive in his opponent's base. There's the lightning. Finally, Sender does cut him down. That should be enough time for Zuma to try to go for a slide, but it's not going to happen.
Attach now. Playing near enemy lines.
easy.
He finds Killa. Pops the Psychosis here as well. Gets some information on where one defender is located, but DT, they're going to be able to get control of the neutral drone. The armor will get reset by Sender as they're trying to get a push together, but nobody has pushed out this lane. Sender's trying to push forward as Sender just kind of thrust forward, maybe trying to be bait for his teammate to clean up the kill, but Heatwave gets popped. Zuma falls off the map this time. Chino trades the kill onto Clayster as they're still fighting for position, but that drone is going to get reset soon.
The drone still available. Enable will grab that one. He's got a teammate watching from that cage's hardpoint, wondering, you know, how they'll play this one. The lightning gets called in. Clayster will kill Sender. The power position is dead. Attach has his back, and oh, it's a rush for FaZe now. They've gotten 3 dead. Remember, if you are new to competitive Call of Duty, there's a 5-second respawn delay in Uplink. So this is going to be a guaranteed dunk for FaZe. Boom. Now up 6-0. Killa with a case of the Claysters as he falls off the map.
Yeah, rough start for DT right here as FaZe. They are not letting up, man. They're keeping the aggression. They have control of the neutral drone. Attach is just going to kind of toss it to the side for yards. He's going to be able to pick it back up, but he can decide to maybe wall run it, waste time, but just decides to reset it as his teammates are coming off respawn as he's continuing to do damage, man.
Look at everybody on FaZe right now. Currently positive. They're already, what, positive 13 in the slaying department, and we're just on side number 1. Those are some dominant hardpoint type numbers, and there's still a whole second half left to play, and there's so many less engagements in Uplink. 2 go dead again for DT. FaZe are going to yet again decide to go for that bottom palace run. Attaches AR shots right now. Crispy like some nuggets from Burger King. Enable's got 1 player to beat. The toss won't connect, but still the drone in a position for Zuma to make a play.
Yeah, Zuma just needs to get past 1 player, but Killa will go big for his team. And now, look at this. DT, they have the lane pushed out. They have forward position to work with for Killa as he could just comfortably run this through Palace. They just need Diabolic to pick up these kills at the FaZe base. As he runs through the clones, he heat waves the clones. Does wind up picking the kill onto Attach. Couple players dropping. This is a scoring opportunity for DT, but Killa, there's a player coming up right behind you. It's going to be Zuma. Zuma finds one. Can he get the second? No, he cannot. Diabolic trying to keep this one going. Gets the 1-point toss. DT put a point on the board, but is it going to be enough?
You can see Clayster, he had an opportunity to go for a pick there, but that's one of the tough positions to be in, right? You could try to go for a pick, but your accuracy might suffer a little bit as you jump in the air, so he decides to stay with his feet planted to the ground. A sacrifice he must make. He gives up the 1-point play, but now they go for another dunk again. Instead, Clayster will settle for that 1-point play. FaZe get back their 6-point lead. Attach is just going to wait inside this middle hut area, and I love this decision from him as all 4 players of DT begin to stream through middle map.
Yeah,
they're going to have no idea.
3 of his teammates died, so he's just going to be playing this one very slow. They do wind up making the trade happen, and they need to kind of score on this opportunity right here, but Diabolic falls off the map.
How many
2 players dead from FaZe. He's going to pop Camel here pretty early. He might be able to get a 1-point toss-off, but there's a FaZe player waiting here. No score comes in. Maybe a questionable use of Camel right there.
Clayster gets the final kill of the half. It's 7-1 for FaZe as they are just 5 minutes away from winning this first series of the day with a swift 3-0. Here's a look from Clayster's perspective. So he was able to get things done with the M8. Now remember, there are 2 sides, so it's going to be FaZe now playing from the other side of the map.
DT need to win the break right here.
You think that's going to be a big key to success? Let's see what their how lethal, how
no
close they are to
Annihilator.
their lethal specialists.
No Scythe. That's it. That's all I got.
So now Zuma with that scythe ready to go. He loves using it on his team. Even with the submachine gun, he'll still typically take that specialist, which a lot of AR players will elect to use because it fits so well with anchoring down a spawn. Zuma gets the first kill onto Killa. Heat wave now being popped. Look at Killa right now. How many times I mentioned how he struggles in the respawn game modes? He goes double, triple negative. Currently 5 and 16, far and away the worst stats so far in this game 3.
Yeah, really struggling to find his place here in Uplink as maybe he's just kind of being the drone carrier for the team or just kind of focusing on the objective, but DT, they need to find a way to slow the game down. They can't allow FaZe to just dictate the pace of this game, as once again, it's going to be DT running the drone through the palace side of the map. They have a little bit of forward position to work with. This could be a one-point opportunity, but DT, they need any point they could get right now. This has to be a score for them right here.
Oh my god, this is so... tries to beat down the Psychosis. Attach. Gets it done. There's the Scythe, and it's a brick wall hold from the Red Militia. They'll rotate the drone towards Greenhouse, and they're going to go on the offensive yet again. Zuma going to hold down this power position with the Scythe. Spots one. Terminated. Begins to peek on out. Sees a player to his right. Almost gives him the up DZ there as Killa gets cleaned on up. And now Attach will grab that drone. He's got a lead blocker ready to go in construction. Things are looking positive for FaZe to take the series 3-0.
Yep. FaZe, they are in complete control of the game so far. They have control of the drone. They're dictating the pace as well. DT, it just seems like they're just playing uncomfortably right now.
Yep.
As, you know, four of them go down momentarily. This is going to be another dunk from FaZe.
To dunk this one right away. And one thing to point out, Revan, is this is what you expected from FaZe, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen this type of dominance from them in the past couple of weeks. Maybe last week they kind of turned things around, but especially the weeks prior to that one. Nice heat wave use right there just to buy his team some time from Clayster. The drone now going to be pushed through green. Dunk opportunity now for Dream Team. But as I say that, guess who it is? It's Zuma on the flank. You're not walking backwards. That's going to cost you, as FaZe will get the drone off the map.
Yeah, Chino now the last player alive from DT. And, you know, to be fair, you know, we've seen FaZe struggle a little bit against the likes of Optic Gaming, against, you know, Rise from time to time. They play them pretty tough. DT definitely a weaker opponent than some of the other teams in the league.
For sure.
So I think for sure FaZe are favored in the series, and they're showing why right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is just clockwork right now for FaZe. They've held the possession of the drone for a large majority of the game. Even here with Enable, he has an opportunity to go for a one-point play. He's got the camo ready to go. Small things like that just continue to help FaZe in this dominant performance, and then he gets 2 kills after. That should never happen. That should never happen.
And that brings up the question, you know, if you use EMPs, you know, you just EMP somebody with camo goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and EMPs, you know, nobody really runs hardwired, so you're not immune to them as Killer. He's going to take out the Annihilator here, trying to, you know, find something to find his way back into the game. That's a clone. There you go. But he dies shortly after.
I don't know how I should feel about this clone. It's looking quite scary. Enable with the drone again. FaZe already up 10-1. He's got a teammate there to help out. There's Sender, though, with the Scythe. Finally gets it 8 minutes into the game.
And he doesn't want to pick this up because now his Scythe goes bye-bye.
Yeah, thankfully, though, it will stay kind of how much time it had left on it, so he can earn it back once more. But even now, I mean, you need to literally have a flawless game with, what, 5 good possessions to regain the lead?
Mm-hmm. And that's such a tough task against a team like FaZe, but Camo's going to get popped here by Chino. They kind of need a dunk right now, but FaZe know this is coming in. They know the situation. They know that DT can't settle for these one-point plays. Attach kind of blocks him a little bit coming off the wall run, tosses the drone off the map, resets it. Now in a gunfight over here near bottom broken, trying to clean up this player, but he's doing a great job staying alive while his teammates push up. Now they have control of the neutral drone. He's got 2 lead blockers. And that DT player, Killa, not really doing much right now.
The pass comes in. Zuma's there, dunks it. FaZe, well, they're going to win this series 3-0, led by this man right here, Clayster. 29 and 17, make it 30. The first player to hit that amount of kills so far in this game.
Look at the kind of damage he can do when he just stays on the map.
Oh my God, Clayster. Yes, he gets the Fists of Fury there from Diabolic, but in the end, it's going to be FaZe with the last laugh with 30 seconds remaining. Diabolic just trying to show off some movement. But, I mean, this one is just done, Revan.
Yeah.
Well, that was just anticlimactic.
If only he had a little more thruster to work with.
Wow. I mean, I thought FaZe were going to win the series, but that was just
It's like DT didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah, that was just a ridiculous stomp. The 2 rounds, they lose in S&D. Clayster fall off the map. They 100-point clubbed them in Hardpoint. And now they beat them by, what, 6, 7 possessions almost? As that one is done, folks. FaZe win it by a final score of 12-1 in Uplink, and they'll take the series with the, whoa, hot off the press 3-0.
Yeah, what a way to kick off Week 8 here. Some big plays being made by the guys over near FaZe. Now a lot of questions around this DT lineup. Are they kind of permanently in that relegation zone? Is there any way you could possibly see this team make it out of there?
I mean, there's a way. You want to know how they do it? They win. They actually win their games. They get their respawns back in order. They play more like a team.
Yeah.
Right now, it's looking like 4 individual players How many times do we see coordinated pinches in that hard point? Maybe once or twice. FaZe was almost every single time they went for a break. It was a team effort.
Yeah.
And not a winning formula for DT as they drop that series. FaZe, they outslay by, a lot.
A lot,
I
yeah.
can't even do the math because it's a lot.
Plus 50-something.
Throughout
Plus,
3 games,
yeah.
definitely close to positive 50. Attached with the Monster Game 2 at 11-3. Everything you want to see out of FaZe Clan.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the Red Militia, you're feeling good after that series. You're going, okay, the boys are looking pretty solid to start off week 8.
Boys are back in town for the FaZe.
Yeah.
The Red Militia out there, as that's a good way for them to start off week 8.
Yep.
Kind of lately, they've been slipping a little bit further and further down the standings, so maybe now they could climb their way back up.
Positive 29 in the sliding
pretty good.
department. Killa, he picked things up a little bit on side 2, but when you have all 4 of your players going negative in every respawn game mode, there was not a single positive player between the Hardpoint and the Uplink, from Dream Team. You're just not going to win this series. Here's a look at the action from that last map. Zuma. Beautiful
Those are
job.
important, man.
He's got the stock on the VMP, and it's something we've seen so often now from players. They've begun to recognize stock just gives you that extra little bit of strafe. It can catch the AR players off guard. It helps you in some of those gunfights. When you saw Attach getting kills like that in his opponent's base, you knew FaZe were going to win this series.
Yeah, the difference maker I saw, throughout Uplink is, when you talk about pushing out lanes and then maintaining that forward position, DT, they were able to push out those lanes ahead of time for the drone carrier. They just weren't able to hold it. So every time, they'd like push out through Palace, right? They kind of be holding over near 10 fences. FaZe off the respawn, immediately that player would die. Then the push from DT would crumble, whereas FaZe, they would continue to slay in their opponent's space, kind of put pressure under their spawns as well, and kill them as they're rotating back to defend.
All positive points for FaZe Clan as they take the first series of the day with the hot 3-0 scoreline. Everything going right for them there, but the action is just heating up here to kick off week 8. Our next matchup is going to be Rise Nation versus Elevate. For me, the battle of 2 of the best uplink teams in all of the world. Guys, you won't want to miss it when we come back. Match 2.